All right. Before we begin tonight's meeting, can I please remind everybody to turn their mobile phone off or switch it to silent? Thank you, and I'll double check my own. Live streaming has been commenced to Council's YouTube site. So good evening, councillors, members of the gallery, and to our viewers live streaming tonight's meeting. My name is Graham Milne. I am the Mayor of the Buloke Shire Council and the Chairperson of tonight's council meeting. It's my pleasure to welcome you to tonight's council meeting. We'll stand up for the acknowledgement or welcome, please. We acknowledge the traditional owners, and we've got belly buttons on the screen, acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are meeting and pay our respects to their elders and to elders from other communities who may be here today. Thank you, you can be seated. This council meeting is being recorded and web streamed live to council's website via YouTube. This recording will also be available as video on demand. Attendees are advised they will be recorded during the meeting. And a reminder that as councillors we will act in accordance with the Council Model Code of Conduct, which will support the principles of leadership and good governance that secures public confidence in the office of councillor. Councillors and officers in attendance, I'd like to introduce the other councillors in attendance tonight. We have Councillor Charmaine Delaney from Jeffcott Ward, Councillor Alan Getley from Mallee Ward, Councillor Bernadette Hogan from Mallee Ward, Councillor Bruce Stafford from Lower Avoca Ward, and Councillor Stephen Barrett from Lower Avoca Ward. Also introduce Mr Daniel McLaughlin, our Chief Executive Officer, and the Executive Management Team, Travis Fitzgibbon, Director of Infrastructure and Delivery, Jenna Allen, Director of Corporate and Organisational Performance, Gaynor Atkin, Director of Community Development, and we have Anthony Smith, Acting Manager of Governance, Paula Gardner, Senior Manager of Assets and Delivery, and Georgia Brown, Senior Executive Assistant. Apologies. I have not received any apologies. Are there any other apologies to be recorded? No. Thank you. Item 3, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. Councillors, could I please have a motion for the confirmation of the minutes of the council meetings that were held on the 18th of March 26 and commencing at 7 p.m, please. Councillor Getley moved. Seconder.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Yep, the council adopt the minutes of the council meeting.
Thank you. Seconder, Councillor Barrett. All those in favour? Are carried. Thank you. Any requests for leave of absence? We have leave of absence. Item 4. At this stage, we have no requests. We'll move into disclosures of conflict of interest. So in accordance with section 130 of the Local Government, or point 2 of the Local Government Act 2020, councillors who have a conflict of interest in respect to a matter being considered at this meeting must A, disclose the conflict of interest in a manner required by the Councillors' Governance Rules 2022, and B, exclude themselves from the decision-making process in relation to that matter, including any discussion or vote on that matter at any council meeting or delegated committee, and in any action in relation to that matter. Disclosure must occur immediately before the matter is considered or disclosed. Councillors, do we have any disclosures to make?
Mr Mayor. Yep.
Nothing to record there, thank you.
I think you might have something to declare, Mr Mayor.
Maybe I haven't read the full agenda.
I'll just have a look at it later on.
Yeah, right. If that's the case, I will declare that at the point. Oh yes, I'm with you. Yep. My apologies. So item 6, questions from the public. Councillors, council has received no questions for this evening's meeting. But we have received 5 registrations for public participation in relation to item 8.2.2. planning permit application PA 25031, use and development of land for animal production, 400,000 bird free for a broiler farm in Sates Road, Charlton. I will ask each speaker to come forward and address the council. Each speaker will have between 3 and 5 minutes. During this time, the speaker cannot ask questions of councillors or council officers. Councillors may seek clarification on points raised by the member of the public, but will not engage in debate. Once all speakers have spoken, we will then continue through the agenda and consider the item at the appropriate time. I'll just add in there, if anybody is to speak, can you please make your way to the microphone? Other than last time we did that, we couldn't quite hear it on the recording. So if anybody has to speak, please go to the microphone to do so. So firstly, I would like to ask Cliff Smith and David Ireland from PSA Consulting to address council. They're on screen, so they're just coming in now. If you guys want to see, feel free to move across or step across.
Thank you. Yes, just myself, Cliff Schmidt. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Cliff,
fantastic.
Is it loud enough? Can you, everybody over that side of the room hear?
Yes. Yep.
We'll just get some volume for you, Cliff.
No problem. Let me know when you hear me loud and clear.
Yep, that's fine. Thank you, Cliff. So, Cliff, I'll invite you now to address the council.
All right. Good evening, Mayor and councillors. Thank you for the opportunity to speak this evening. My name is Cliff Schmidt, Principal Town Planner at PSA Consulting, responsible for the preparation of the free-range poultry broiler farm development application, which was lodged in October last year, obviously referred to in item 8.2.2 in tonight's agenda. I am here on behalf of the applicant, Agrite, to respectfully ask you to support your planning officer's recommendation to issue a notice of decision to grant a permit for this application. The applicant representative has provided his apology for not attending in person tonight, given his wife is heavily pregnant and he cannot travel. This proposal has been subject to a rigorous technical assessment against the Buloke planning scheme, the Victorian Code for broiler farms and all relevant referral authority requirements. That process has concluded objectively that the application meets all relevant assessment benchmarks, is technically sound and can be managed responsibly through the reasonable and relevant permit conditions. We acknowledge the concerns raised by the submitters. However, we have comprehensively addressed these concerns through the consultation process. We have proven conclusively that there will be no adverse flooding effects on their properties caused by the proposed development. Our experienced and suitably qualified engineering team and the Catchment Management Authority have all confirmed this, which is reflected in the Council Planning Officer's report and recommendation to approve the permit. Specific permit conditions, namely 46 and 47, have been drafted by the Catchment Management Authority, requiring that development must not cause adverse off-site flood impacts on neighbouring properties, and the finished floor level of the proposed buildings must be constructed a minimum of 300 millimetres above the modelled 1% AEP flood level. So these are enforceable outcomes built into the permit conditions. Finally, councillors, this application represents a significant investment in Buloke's agricultural economy. The development will create local employment, support transport and service businesses, and directly contribute to the growth of new and emerging agricultural enterprises. It aligns with Council's strategic objectives to support rural industries and strengthen the economic resilience of the region. We believe that the Planning Officer's recommendation and draft conditions represents a fair response considering policy compliance, technical evidence and community expectations. On its merits, this application warrants approval, subject to the reasonable and relevant conditions that have been drafted. I respectfully ask councillors to endorse the officer's recommendation. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Cliff. Councillors, are there any points of clarification required for what Cliff has informed us? No points Cliff, thank you. So we'll ask you
Thank you very
to leave
much.
the meeting and watch from live stream, please.
Okay, will do. Thank you.
Thank you, Cliff. All right. I would now like to call Chris Byrne to come forward and address council. Thank you, Chris.
Good evening, councillors, and thank you for the opportunity to address your meeting here this evening, or else. To introduce myself, I'm a small business operator at Charlton and also run a small rural farming business as well, sort of thing. You'll know my business operates directly opposite the Ampol Road is at Charlton Explies. I work professionally as an agronomist and equipment right across the Mallee region of Victoria into the river and whatever else. The Southwell family, Ian and Nugget Southwell are here. They are a adjoining landowner. Terry Fitzpatrick and his family are another adjoining landowner to this proposal that Cliff and PSA has just outlined. First of all, point is there's been a couple of other developments in the poultry industry in our immediate community over the last 7 or 8 years. Without exception, I've had land that's been within a 2-mile catchment of both of those developments, and at Ingham's and the existing business that's on the Charlton Port Road that these people have purchased in the last 12 months. For all of those developments, we had a consultative process close to a couple of years along the way, and this one, we had something turn up in my inbox on January 6th, and we're immediately through the fence. We had 21 days to respond to it for a multi-million-dollar development, putting it so our immediate response was individual from adjoining landowners. We didn't have 20%, we didn't have 30%, we had 100% of adjoining landowners reject not the business is fine, it's just about the location. Let's be very clear on this. We're fully supportive of the business model, what it brings to our community, the broader Buloke community, whatever else. It is essential, and so if we're talking about location, you know, you're a real estate man, 3 rules of real estate: location, location, location. If you have a look at, to put it in a designated, and you've got this in your notes, the pre-form modelling beforehand, that blue line that runs straight down the map is a watercourse that dissects directly through the centre of the development. And you finish up, you go through this modelling that Marvin and so forth have engaged, based out of Brisbane, projected forward here to 2090, they're modelling 65 years from now. Modelling, a modern day woke term for what our forebears would call utter BS. Therefore, we don't actually have a lot of faith in the current modelling. We've had a lot of dialect about this site. It is to be reviewed by CMA, who've been involved in the process all the way through. We'll leave the Charlton Port Road, travel 600 metres down Douglas Road heading east. We turn south down Blackie's Lane, which is the entrance, the single entrance to this property. We travel another 600 metres. We travel another 400 metres to get halfway down their site. So there's 1600 metres, a mile of levee bank that's going to, and that is not at this point in time, that is yet to be reviewed and so forth. So the entrance to Blackie's Lane is that watercourse off to my right. That's the single sole entrance to that farm. And that's in 2022, that's my Toyota Land Cruiser, and that's actually Mount Baker Vandals in the background. Thank you, Councillor.
Thank you.
And we're going to shift 60,000+ metres of soil on the site. We're then going to unknown shift another that much and more again on the access road, the single access road to it. And if we draw your attention, it's in your notes, to the items here, item 47, the flood impact assessment prepared by Marvin's and dated the 13th of February this year must be updated to include details on flood modelling methodology, and it must be reviewed and signed off by the appropriate authority, being CMA. That has not been done yet. So we've been asked to withdraw our objection That's checks in the mail. Checks in the mail doesn't cut it today. So in that regard, we will not withdraw our objection to the location of this property.
1 minute to go, Chris.
Okay.
Yep.
Coming forward from that, we've talked about the entrance. Water is a godsend. In the droughts of the 90s, we paid water rates all the way through. 10 years out of 12, we had to cut water at our own cost to there. And we finish up moving forward from there. Our water supply continued under threat. But my key point here today, we established this. We've got 80,000 kilometres of road in Buloke Shire. I've got 5 closed roads on my small property. You endorse this, you take the lid off of Pandora's box for any corporator to come in here and plonk a facility where they like, up a blind road, in a floodplain. I call on you people as councillors to make a wise decision. We need economic development. We don't need to be standing on the family farming ratepayers to do that. Thank you for your time. A closing statement, our interaction, a vote of thanks to all of the Buloke Shire people. They've been great to deal with. They've done an excellent job. Thank you for your professionalism. Well done.
Thank you, Chris. Councillors, do we have any points of clarification from Chris's address that you would like to sort out? I'll take that as no. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you. And we'll move on to our next item now, and the item that you're referring to will come up in general general business very shortly. So
Very good. Thank you, ladies.
thank you. All right. Thank you. We'll move on to item 7, which is procedural items. 7.1 is the governance report, April 2026. Can I have somebody move this report, please?
Yeah, so move, Mr. Mayor.
Councillor Barrett, and the motion, the recommendation, sorry?
Yeah. That council notes the records of council assemblies and meetings held. 2, notes the record of councillors' briefings as attachment 1 to this report. 3, notes the Chief Executive Officer activity report. 4, notes the status of actions report for council resolutions at attachment 2 to this report. 5, notes the summary of minutes from the Audit and Risk Committee meeting held Wednesday 11th of February 2026 at attachment 3 to this report. And 6, notes that there was no contracts entered into this period in accordance with increased financial delegation provided to the Chief Executive Officer of 1.5 excluding GST.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Do we have somebody to second that motion, please?
Happy to second.
Councillor Hogan. Thank you. Anything you'd like to say, Councillor Barrett?
No, just that I think most people have been pretty busy doing bits and pieces. Me, myself, not so much.
No, yeah, sorry.
But apart from that, everything, yeah, we've had a very busy period of time. Thank you.
Councillor Hogan?
No.
All right, thank you. A procedural motion, of course, but all in favour?
Right.
Thank you, and carried. Flicking through to general business. So general business, 8.1, policy reports of tonight, which we have nil. 8.2, management reports. We have 8.2.1, Grampians Wimmera Mallee Tourism Memorandum of Understanding. So, councillors, do I have a motion for this item, please? Councillor Delaney.
Yes, Mr Mayor. The recommendation that Councillor 1 endorse that Buloke Shire Council continue being a member of the Grampian Wimmera Mallee Tourism Board by signing the Memorandum of Understanding that commenced the 1st of February 2026 and expires 30th of June 2027. 2, allocate an additional $10,000 membership fee to GWMT totaling $25,000 excluding GST for the 26-27 financial year, subject to Council's annual budgetary processes. And 3, authorise the Chief Executive Officer to sign all applicable documentation supporting this continued commitment.
Thank you, Councillor Delaney. Is there a seconder for this motion, please? Councillor Hogan. Thank you. Speakers, Councillor Delaney, would you like to speak to your motion?
No, Mr Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Councillor Hogan.
Look, I think this is a really good opportunity to have an alliance with a greater funding leverage to promote Buloke, and to have an alliance with our small other regional neighbouring councils to get the benefit of that collective advocacy. So yeah, it's a good investment, I think. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hogan. Any councillors like to speak in opposition? Any other councillors like to speak in support of? Look, the only comment I'll make is that we're probably on this. We're to the second year of the trial with Grampians Wimmera Mallee Tourism from Wimmera Mallee Tourism Board, and this is probably a good step forward to firm up that relationship, and as Councillor Hogan alluded to, leverage some more funds and opportunities for our fledgling but growing tourism industry in Buloke. So with that, if there's no more debate, anybody else? No? Everybody's happy? I'll put the vote. All those in favour?
Right.
Nobody's against. I declare that vote carried. Thank you. (8.2.2) Planning permit application PA 250331, use and development of land for animal production, 400,000 bird free range broiler farm on Sates Road, Charlton. Councillors, do I have a motion for this item, please?
Yes, Mr Mayor.
Councillor Barrett.
Just read this, just bear with me for a second. I'll put my little glasses back on. That the recommendation is that Council, having caused notice of planning application number PA 25031 to be given under section 52 of the Planning and Environment Act 1987, and having considered all the matters required under section 60 of the Planning and Environment Act 1987, decides to issue a notice of decision to grant a permit under the provisions of 35.7.1 and 35.7.4 and 44.4.2 of the Buloke Planning Scheme in respect of the land known and described as Sates Road, Charlton, Lot 1 PS9 32492 for the use and development of land for animal production, i.e. 40,000 bird free range broiler farm, including 8 sheds, associated free range and auxiliary buildings, and 2 managers' dwellings, in accordance with the endorsed plans with the application dated 8th of October 2025, subject to the following conditions. Do you want, and because there is a list, quite a list of those conditions, I'll put them down as noted.
So we'd be happy. Would you be happy to record them as from condition 1 to 50, as listed?
As listed 1 to 50, yes, Mr Mayor. Otherwise, I might be here a while.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. And I guess anybody who's read that will be aware of the conditions. Do I have a seconder for this motion, please? Councillor Hogan. Thank you.
Excuse me, Mayor, can we just confirm there is 50?
There is 50.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
So speakers for the motion, Councillor Barrett, would you care to speak on your motion?
Yes, Mr. Mayor. As this is a huge development for the Shire, even though we've given due consideration to all those involved, and I mean all those involved, and we did put some stringent conditions on this permit, I think that we've done our due diligence to all parties.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Councillor Hogan.
My understanding is that the Section 173 agreement applies significant conditions which the developer must adhere to, and if they're granted a permit, so the CMA will have oversight, as I understand it, over those conditions, and the Buloke Shire Council, as the issuer of the permit, can make sure that those conditions are enforced. So I recognise that this is a serious investment within the Buloke Shire, and I think it's a project that we really should support. And I understand the issues which Mr. Byrne raised, and that there would be some localised concern around that. But my understanding is that once the CMA has done those flood projections, that if that is an issue, then as the Shire we can ask for further either for the project not to go ahead if it's going to be impacted severely, or we can ask that further measures be put in place to contain whatever flood projections are there. So my understanding is that there is sufficient coverage within those conditions of Section 173 that there is sufficient mitigation measures there. So I'd be happy to support the project with the information that's supplied to us.
Thank you, Councillor Hogan. Just a point of clarification in the mover's reading of the recommendation. Just need to clarify that it's 400,000 birds, not 40,000 birds.
I did say 400,000.
All right. So clarifying that it is 400,000 birds in the recommendation.
Excuse me, Mr.
Yes.
Mayor, can we just clarify with the planning staff or manager of governance, the 50 conditions includes the permit expiry condition at the end?
Yes.
Yeah. So the permit expiry is included under the 50th condition. Thank you, sorry.
No worries, thank you. Other councillors would like to speak either for or against? Councillor Ketley.
Thank you, Councillor Milne. This is obviously a very detailed application, and in fact it's the most detailed application that I've seen in my time here of any development that we've done in Buloke for some time. Obviously I do know the area in question, and there is obviously water issues there in flood time. But we have to consider what the Catchment Management Authority have put forward to us and the designing, and there's a lot more to go yet before this permit becomes hard and fast. So whilst I acknowledge the objectors here tonight, I think we have to trust what's been put in front of us as such a big piece of work that we move forward from here. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Getley. Other councillors? Councillor Stafford.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to sort of just note Councillor Getley's comments. I support those as well, but personally, look, I'm really agonising over this decision, I'll be honest. On one hand, we've got a development that brings real benefits, not just to Charlton, but the whole Shire. On the other hand, we've got neighbouring property owners who've lodged an objection. I just want to acknowledge that their concerns about potential impact on their farming land are genuine and understandable. And note, as Chris outlined before, they're not against the development, just the concerned about location of it. It's not an easy decision, which I don't take lightly. However, on balance, I accept that the application has been thoroughly assessed, that the permit conditions are strong and designed to manage those impacts, with a clear responsibility placed on the proponent. Whilst I'm not 100% comfortable, I do believe the application can proceed within these conditions.
Thank you, Councillor Stafford. Councillor Delaney, would you like to add anything?
No, Mr Mayor, just to simply echo Councillor Stafford's comments, this is not a decision that's been made lightly.
Thank you. Just a couple of brief comments from myself. I am very aware of the angst that this application has caused the objectors in particular, and I thank them for raising the objection, because without an objection this would not have come to council. So your objection is very important. Anybody's objection is very important to any development, otherwise we don't get the opportunity to discuss it and dissect it like we have. Briefly, because I won't go on too long, I feel that the location is very unsuitable. It does not sit well with myself. It just appears to me that a willing seller and a willing buyer of lesser important ground for cropping, the opportunity has come along to move on with that ground, and if it had been, in my opinion, if the application had been on better land, this would not have got the attention that it's got, because you wouldn't have the issue that water and flooding can cause to neighbouring properties. So with that, I ask, is there any further discussion or debate that councillors would like to have? So I will put the vote. All those in favour? 1, 2, 3, 4. All those against? Councillor Delaney, did I not see your vote, or are you abstaining?
I did.
Sorry, just didn't see it on the screen. I'm sorry. So, yep. Can I ask for a division on this, please?
Would you like me to do that, Mr Mayor?
Yes, please.
I'll call a division, Mr Mayor.
Thank you. So just to record, those for and those against, if you can raise your hands, those in favour, and have that recorded. Thank you. Thank you, and those against. And my reasons, I'll give that after. I'll have a little speech after this. So I declare that permit or that motion has been carried. And I thank you all for the work and time that you put into it. I guess my position is that I'm just not comfortable with the location, and while I understand that the requirements that have been put in conditions by our people and the parties associated with this application, I feel that a 1 in 100 flood is a big flood, and we've got no idea where water's going to go when that happens. So that's the reason that I speak against or will vote against the motion. Thank you very much for that. If any guys, if you'd like to head off, you are welcome to head off, but you're also welcome to stay and listen to the more exciting stuff that comes. Thank you. Thank you very much. (8.3) Financial reports. 8.3.1 Draft 2026-27 Annual Budget. Councillors, do I have a motion for this item? Councillor Gatley.
Thank you, Mr Mayor. Motion is that we endorse the draft 26-27 budget incorporating the 4-year budget at attachment 1 to this report for public exhibition. 2, give public notice of the draft 26-27 budget on Council's website and invite written submissions from Thursday 16th of April until Thursday 7th of May 2026. Note, in accordance with section 93 and 96(1)(b) of the Local Government Act 2020, consultation will be undertaken in accordance with the Council's community engagement policy. Note that any person and/or organisation who makes a written submission in relation to the draft 2026-27 budget may be heard by Council at a scheduled public submission hearing in Witchy Proof on Monday 25th May 26. Notes that the 26-27 budget incorporates the 4-year budget which will be considered for adoption at the Council meeting to be held Wednesday 17th of June 26 at 7 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Gatley. Can I have a seconder for that motion, please? Councillor Hogan. Councillor Gatley, would you like to speak to the motion?
Thank you, Mr Mayor. First of all, I'd like to congratulate the staff and Salome, who's not here, and I hope someone passes the congratulations on to her. This is a mountain of work that they've done to present to us over the workshops that we've done. We all know money's tight, but we've come up with a budget that is fiscally responsible and sets us in good stead for the coming year. So thank you, Mr Mayor.
Thank you, Councillor Gatley. Councillor Hogan.
I'd just like to echo Councillor Gatley's words and just thank the director and the managers and the manager particularly tasked with this role of putting this together a month earlier, may I say, than previous years, which is puts us in a very good stead to have good discussions and a well looked over document. So and a good strong budget within the circumstances that all local governments find themselves. But very great efforts on behalf of the staff, and now that it'll be out for the public, it'll be good to get as many as much public discussion as possible. So thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Hogan. Other councillors for or against? Councillor Barrett.
Mr Mayor, I put this budget out there as a draft for the community, and I hope we get good community feedback, because we have put in a lot of work, and staff, as well as us councillors, we've to and fro quite a bit, and I think now it's up to that community out there to give them the feedback that we deserve.
Thank you, Councillor Barrett. Any other councillors to speak? No. I'll just make the comment that, as Councillor Hogan alluded to, the budget is a month early, and I find that quite rewarding for all of us, and certainly for the public who might make submission. That in the past we haven't had a lot of time to consider those submissions. Given that you spend 3 or 4 months putting the budget together and you deliberate over what goes in and what goes out, to have to make a decision on something that comes from the public on the 11th hour has always been very difficult. So we'll have time to do that. I certainly commend the budget for the amount of work that's gone into it. We often say that we don't have a lot of input into what the budget ends up looking like, but the plans we make, 4-year plans, 10-year plans, financial plans, capital works plans, all those plans feed into these budgets, which probably saves us a lot of time and effort in the long run when it comes to putting this together, because a lot of that stuff is automatic and goes in. We do have a couple of things that I guess carryovers, as are usual with budgets and supply of government money. There's a number of things that will carry over, but this budget is as responsible as we can be under the circumstances that we find ourselves in. and with some recommendations from the Minister to go in there as well after a monitor. So I thank the staff, all staff from the top to the bottom, for their input into this, and certainly it is a fair old task, as has been mentioned, and thank the councillors for their attendance at workshops and their input. I think we've had a great couple of 3 or 4 sessions in the lead up to this draft budget going out that has just allowed for all things to be discussed and understood as best we can. So I'll leave it at that. Is there any other debate or discussion to be had? No. I put the vote. Those in favour? That's all in favour. I declare that motion carried. 8.4, organisational reports. Tonight we have nil. 8.5, reports from councillors. We have monthly reports that have been listed here. So I will go through, starting from the top, we'll go to Councillor Barrett to...
No, I'd just like to table that report and add further that I'm quite satisfied with the way the council staff have gone about the little query I had the other day regarding shrubbery on overhanging footpaths and so forth, and I noticed that's been undertaken in Witchyproof, which I'm quite happy to see, and thank you very much to staff.
Thank you. Any questions, comments for Councillor Barrett? If not, I'll move on to Councillor Stafford.
Nothing to add that's already there. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you. Was there any questions, comments on anything from Councillor Stafford's written report? No, thank you. Councillor Getley.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Nothing further to add to my report, only to probably highlight the fact that from tomorrow VicGrid will start or attempt to start their ecological surveys on 26 properties across the V&I West route using their new access powers. Thank you.
Any questions for Councillor Getley? Comments? Thank you, Councillor Getley. Councillor Hogan.
Nothing further to add than my list as presented.
Thank you, Councillor Hogan. Questions, comments? Councillor Delaney.
Just seconding Councillor Hogan's comments, my report has tabled.
No worries at all. And myself, there's a list of things there that that I attended. I guess there's a couple there that I will make mention of. One being the Longanong College Awards 2025 at Horsham on the 20th of the 3rd. A couple of local participants from Buloke Shire there on the night, and Will Allen and my apologies to Humphrey. My apologies, the name escapes me. Lily.
Yeah, Lily.
Sorry, Lily. Most sorry for that. But yeah, look, a good night by all. It's great to see that facility is still up and running, and that we have the opportunity to support it with our young people. They come out of there different people, I think, when you see how they present themselves in the public. We've also had a number of other meetings, and the last one will be next month's report. The only other thing I want to add is we want our train back on our line.
Oh, yes,
You lot are right over here. You don't go far enough. You only go to Sea Lake. So bring back the Mildura train. Please, I've been asked to support that push, and it's been going on for probably 10 years. I'm happy to support it going forward and see that we can give another opportunity to people who want to use the train to have that opportunity to use it. We've proved that the passenger trains can run on the Melbourne to Mildura line, with the Vinelander going along with 707 operations doing tourism trips. So we know it works on that line. So I'll be throwing my support behind that going forward. And I just think going forward, we've got Anzac Day coming up. We've got all our wreaths over there to take home. Great to see Nandaly come on board this year with a service, first time in a long time, and they're having one up there at 1 o'clock on Anzac Day, and it's also good that we've been able to support all our Anzac Day services in town, at least one in each town, and where they have services going forward. So thank you to councillors and staff who will be represented on that day. I'll leave that there for so we'll move on to other business. 9.1, notices of motion. There are no notices of motion this evening. 9.2, questions from councillors. Councillors, do we have any questions that you would like to raise? Councillor Hogan.
Can I just have one question to you, Mr Mayor?
Yes.
When promoting the Mildura to passenger service, could you please ask if there's an option to electrify so that we can save some diesel? Thank you.
Councillor Hogan, I will certainly ask that question on your behalf. No other questions? We'll move on. Urgent business. Do we have any urgent business for this evening? No urgent business. 9.4, any other business? And we have 9.4, interstate travel, myself, so I do have a declaration of interest here to declare. So I'll ask the Deputy to step into the chair.
From here?
No, I think you better come here. Okay. Yes, yes. And I will vacate. Oh, I have to shut the shutter, yeah. Otherwise you'll see me hand through.
Little screen. Here we go. Okay, councillors, for this item, 9.4.1, do we have the shutter down? Could I please call for a motion for this item, please? Councillor Getley.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. As the recommendation reads, that Council approve interstate travel and associated costs for Councillor Graham Milne's attendance to the Australian Local Government Association, ALGA, National General Assembly of Local Government, Incorporating Regional Corporation and Development Forum to be held in Canberra on the 23rd of June 2026 to the 25th of June 2026 in Canberra.
Thank you, Councillor Getley. Is there a seconder for this motion? Councillor Delaney? Would anybody like to speak to this motion, Councillor Getley?
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Yeah, look, as the most recent attendee of the last three of these, this is a great opportunity to promote Buloke, to talk to local government, to talk to local government people, to talk to ministers. I hope that that they're able to get in to talk to some ministers in that General Assembly. I note a bit of a change of format this year, and it's not quite as long as it used to be, but it is the only place that you can actually get to 536 councils around Australia and get some different perspectives of what happened. I certainly, it was certainly an eye-opener to me for the three I attended. I will suggest to Councillor Milne that he reads the name tags of people walking around and clobber them, because that's the only way you can get to speak to some of them, but they are willing to speak. So it's a really good opportunity, and happy to support the travel and the cost.
No, thank you, Councillor Getley. Councillor Delaney, a seconder. Would you like to speak?
Yes, Mrs. Deputy Mayor. I think it's a perfect opportunity for relationship building between local council and local government, and I look forward to hearing the end result.
Thank you. Would any other councillor like to speak in opposition to this motion? No. Any other councillors in support? Would you like to say something? Anybody else? All been said? Okay. So with no discussion or debate, I'll put it to the vote. All those in favour?
Aye.
Nobody against. That's a good thing. I declare this motion carried. Could somebody please advise Councillor Milne that he's going to Canberra? Thank you. Mayor Milne? Oh, yeah.
Well, eat the cakes here.
There we go.
Tony going to the big house, that right? That's the one, isn't
He told me the outhouse.
it? Well, it probably is the outhouse.
All right, thank you, Councillor Hogan. 9.5 matters which may exclude the public. We have nil. And I'm going to do a Leo. I'm going to add one thing to my councillor report. I did omit to say that we have asked, and that letter has been drafted to go to Robin Letts as a congratulatory letter for his lifetime award received just recently in his work associated with the Buloke Times, and editor of that for over 45 years. So I thank Georgia for putting those words together, and that letter will go out in the next day or two if it hasn't already gone. Knowing Georgia, it's gone. Thank you. But Robin Letts has been a great contributor to council life over his time, and there was up until probably a few years ago when he was asked not to come to meetings at a particular time. Then COVID hit. We haven't seen his fantastic reporting in the paper since. We've had our own reports in the paper, which we're grateful for, but Robin always added a little bit extra to that. So that concludes my Leo for tonight. And item 10, if there's nothing further, I'll declare the meeting closed at 7:54. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr Mayor.